Do you not like the fact that society always tells you, be yourself, but they're the same people who chastise you for being different and not fitting their standards? Well, this podcast is for you, me, and everyone else who doesn't have a clue on how to live this human life on this confusing planet. I'm Chez, your host for the How Do You Even Human podcast, and I'm so thrilled because in today's episode, we're gonna have our first guest! Woo! And we are going to talk about how to be unapologetically yourself. For our first guest, let us all welcome Nicolo Vasquez, aka my very good friend Nico.
Woo! Hi.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello. Oh my
Hi.
gosh, how are you? How have you been this quarantine?
I'm good. Well, quarantine. It's still quarantine, so nothing much. But yeah, sure. All good. All good.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, what have you been doing? What have you been busy with lately?
It's funny because every day I try to find something new to do, no matter how nonchalant. So, like reading one chapter of the Harry Potter book I started back in grade 5. That's an
Oh,
achievement.
wow.
That's an achievement.
Oh, wow. Yes, grade 5, pa.
But you,
Okay, so,
what about you?
I've just been doing my podcast and being very, very busy. And you know that, right? You know that very
I know it too much.
And yes. And oh my gosh, with the things that you've been busy this quarantine, let's talk about your TikTok. Cause your TikTok, oh my gosh, have you guys checked out his TikTok?
Oh my god.
Yes, so he's TikTok famous, I guess. And like he's not famous because he doesn't like that you don't like dance or sing like straight TikTok type of stuff.
Yeah, I
you
don't.
do random
I don't
things.
think I'm part of straight TikTok.
Oh yeah.
At all.
And you're not also like kind of like not all TikTok. You're your own
Yeah.
thing. So like
I try to keep it diverse. You know.
Yeah. So like how do you become unique in a platform where everyone's just like recycling each other's content, honestly?
Well, I mean, use that to your advantage, cause everyone's recycling content, so everyone can be unique by doing the same thing basically. So put your own spin on it, or just do the same thing. Cause sometimes when I think about it, you can be doing the same dance, but it's just how you look, how you are as a person that makes you look unique. I mean, the representation is there because there's people from all around the world doing the same dances, and a lot of other people are just doing the same trends, but it's just all the matter of your own personality.
Okay, speaking about personality, because you have such a unique personality that even online it shows, and in school, me and Nico, we were schoolmates, not batchmates, but schoolmates.
Yeah.
And you
That's
weren't
not-
like anyone else, like, you weren't part of. Yeah, you weren't part of the straight boys, like the oh my god, yeah,
Absolutely
bro.
not.
Or you weren't
Absolutely
part
not.
of like the nerdy boys. You were just your own self. So like how
Yeah, I
yeah.
guess.
So like how do you care about what other people like do, or like do you care about belonging to a certain group, honestly?
I mean, for the most of my, let's say, high school life, because I'm not that old. For the most of that high school part, um, I've kind of had like at least one or two friends from every clique. I didn't know where to go, but at least if they were there, I'd go there. So, yeah.
Oh, so you were always that friend. You didn't have like a set squad or barkada in Filipino. You were just like everybody's friend type of person.
Oh well,
You didn't really like
I did have that like one group of friends, but they're also all weirdos. So, uh, so even that group of friends were kind of like me, that they had they had theater friends, they had the cool kid friends, they had their athlete friends, but none of us really had like one clique or like one group or whatever.
Mm. So, like, your barkada identifies as, like, the weirdos, the
Oh,
random type of
definitely the weirdos.
Definitely. Oh my gosh. So, did you care about what other people thought of you? Like, with you identifying as, like, the weirdos and random people in school?
I mean, okay, let's be honest. To a certain extent, yeah, yeah, of
Okay.
course. Like,
Of course, of course.
I'd I'd be weirded out if they thought I was a bad person. But like,
Mm.
if I was wearing the latest clothes, if I was doing the latest or if I was just popular, it didn't matter that much to me.
Ah. Okay, so what other people say about you don't really matter to you?
I guess just how I dress, or
Oh, how you dress.
like how I dress, how I act, who are the people I'm with, cuz I mean, let's face it, a lot of times in high school, there's a lot of prejudice, there's a lot of judgment over
Oh,
a
yes.
lot of people.
Very high
Yeah,
school. Yes.
it's high school, and plus, we went to high school together, so you get it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And speaking about high school, since high school is the breeding ground of being segregated into certain
Super.
groups where you need to belong and where you
Super.
need to fit in with a certain like archetype.
Yeah.
You're either like the
Mm-hmm.
jocks or the nerdy guys or the the theater kids. How do you did you like being part of a group or did you like standing out? Because personally, I like standing out. So
Mm.
what about you?
Well, well, yeah, same. I love to stand out. I love to stand out. I mean, I once did a research report wearing a hot dog costume. But that aside, it's also nice to have a group once in a while, cuz there's that sense of belongingness. And when you're really genuine friends with even just a few people, it's nice to just have them, and it's good to have people who are interested in different things also.
Mm. So you try to hang out with people who are different from you or different from everyone else.
A little bit of both, cuz it's
Mm.
really interesting to find people who are like so far from the usual I don't know how to explain it. Just from that usual Riverdale high school
Oh my gosh.
stereotype. It's
Riverdale. Yes.
whatever
That
stereotype you can
I don't
throw in there.
I don't like that show. Like, do they think that high school people like twerk and like do cheerleading stuff like that and like sing
Absolutely not.
song?
No one was that
Oh
hot
my
when I
god.
went to high school. Let's be honest.
Oh, true. And okay, so oh yeah, speaking of being like hot, because like in high school, looks matter a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Looks matter a
unfortunately.
lot. Yes, it does. So have you ever thought, I wish I was more like them? Like not even like just in terms of looks, and it's also in like achievements. Have you ever thought of like, oh, I don't want to be myself. I want to be more like them. I want to have what
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah. There
Okay.
were some times when I would think, God, I wish I was more like athletic. I wish I was um smarter or at the top of my class. There were those times, but then sometimes you have to pull yourself back and think, is it is it really that important to you?
Oh my, yeah, true. So is it important to you, staying true to yourself and not caring what other people say to you, especially if it's like not fitting their
No.
standards or whatever.
Yeah, staying true to yourself is absolutely important, but you also have to that's where self-reflection also comes in, because
Wow.
sometimes you look at someone and you think, wow, I wish I could be like that person and be at the top of my class. Do you want to be at the top of your class for like bragging rights, or is it for self-improvement?
True. You should
So
always do, yeah, self
it's
reflection
really,
and self improvement.
yeah, it's, you really have to weigh things to see, is it really that important to you? Are you doing it to become a better person, or is it just to be liked by this person or that person?
Yeah. And speaking about self improvement and self reflection, for
Mm-hmm.
you, what do you think is more important? Accepting who you are or striving to be someone better? Because if I listen to this TED talk wherein if we should always improve ourselves, but then we might lose a sense of self-worth if like
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
always try to like improve and not think of yourself as enough. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for you, what do you think should you value more, being yourself or being better or being different?
Actually, what when you said that, it's valuing, it's which you value more, right? It's improvement or acceptance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's a matter of choosing which to value more. It's a matter of choosing which to value first. Because if you really want to be a good person, then I believe first comes acceptance. Accept who you are. Accept how much, how far you're willing to go, and then based from that, that's when you improve. I think you can achieve both things. It's just a matter of really choosing and focusing on what you want to do first and what you really want in life.
That is so true. And like speaking about, improving once again and choosing what you should value, have you ever thought, um, okay, maybe being myself isn't appropriate or is bad at the moment, like being yourself like offend someone, or being yourself isn't the right thing to do, because there are some things when like it's too much already. So what do you think
Yeah.
about that? Have you
Yeah.
ever had an instance? Would you like to share?
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. If I'm gonna share, then yeah, I do. See, I told you, right, that I have like one or two friends who are part of every clique. Sometimes those certain friends would invite me to parties. So let's say it's the um, top class people, the super smartest people of the batch,
Mm-hmm.
who invite me to one of their parties. Obviously, there are some things which I just can't like bring in. I can't just like go to the point of oversharing and
Oh my gosh,
be,
that is
cause
so true.
cause I mean think about it. Usually they would pit themselves as, oh, they're the outcasts. But when all of them are together, you can be the one. You can end up being the outcast.
That is
So
true.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, so how do
But
you find a balance between, reading others and like being yourself and not caring about, what
um,
others say? How do you find a balance?
simple answer: you don't. No, I'm kidding. Uh, Finding a
Sorry guys,
balance.
so you can't be yourself
Yeah,
apparently.
you can't. Thank you for the pod. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you. No, seriously.
Yeah.
How do you find a balance?
It's gonna take time, and it's gonna take a lot of people to come your way. You need to you need to meet people. You need to befriend other people. Even if you are an introvert, that doesn't mean you have to be alone or lonely all the time. And it's in meeting, interacting, or even just thinking about yourself. Again, self-reflection, that you think, maybe for these types of people, this is what I can show without overstepping. Because overstepping or oversharing doesn't mean you're not being yourself. You're still being true, but you're just being courteous to the other people.
Yeah, that is true. And what do you call that? So why is it important to weigh in, should I share this, or should I be myself, or should, like, what's the importance of really self-reflecting on who you are as a person, and if that works for other people, you know?
You know, people are very different. There are
Yes.
so many different people. They come from so many different backgrounds. But you'll be surprised that even people that you would think you have nothing alike, like jocks and emo kids, just an example.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things even to a personal level that you can connect with, and that comes with, again, self-reflection. That comes with choosing what you want. That comes in choosing what you want, choosing what you want to share, and if it's something that you feel that that person can actually connect with you.
Mm. So, you talked about something about, wanting, and when should you fight about what you want, and what you want to be, because, like, people always tell us na, just be in this box,
Mm-hmm.
society tells us, we have these different roles, maybe it's in gender, or in class, or
Mm-hmm.
in your age, all of that stuff. So how do you fight for, being yourself and doing what you want, you know?
Well, from personal experience, because
Mm-hmm.
fighting for being a quote unquote weirdo and fighting for who you are and what you stand for is kind of a, you know, it's very common. It's a common
Mm-hmm.
occurrence. Um, like I said, people are different. Some people's views or prejudice will be rock hard. Some people will be immovable. So fight to if you quote unquote fight and just speak for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do your best, do your part. It's respect to yourself also that you don't let other people dictate what you can and cannot be.
Mm-hmm.
But also learn when to just. It's also best to learn to just say that if this person really can't accept me for who I am,
Mm-hmm.
that should not change me. I still accept
Yes.
myself. I still love myself for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is just one person or a group of people that can't understand. There's that kind of understanding, and you need to accept that. Do I really wanna change for someone who doesn't like me?
True.
It's kind of a waste. So there will always be someone who will appreciate you, and you need to appreciate yourself for who you are. And in the long run, you'll
Yes.
thank yourself for it. You will honestly thank yourself for it.
Yes. You can't please everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now, let's talk about your TikTok, Mr. TikTok famous guy with
Hey.
almost 60,000 followers. Oh my gosh. Someone who got more TikTok followers than me. I'm kind of pissed. The joke lang. So, with TikTok, people can be very judgmental. It
Mm.
applies to all the
Yeah.
social media platforms, right?
Yeah.
And, I've seen your TikToks, and people can be so mean sometimes because, let's face
Yeah.
it, you do pretty weird stuff on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Pretty weird
Yeah,
stuff. Pretty weird stuff.
yeah. Like sometimes I can't go through like one of your videos 'cause, like, I'm just like,
You
why?
don't even finish
Like,
my
oh,
videos.
I
I
don't, I
ask you,
don't.
you watch the first 5 seconds and then you just scroll.
Sorry guys, I'm exposed. Oh yeah, and so, like, yeah, you do like pretty weird stuff on
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
TikTok, and people can comment like really good stuff.
Yeah.
People, you have fans, and like you also have haters. People being very
So many.
judgmental and mean. So how do you deal with the haters? How do you deal with the criticism on social media?
Make like Miranda sings and haters back off. I'm kidding. Um,
That is so bad. That is so
yeah,
bad.
um,
Sorry, we're this honest with each other.
look, I mean, when it
I'm a
comes to
hater.
haters, yeah, you're one of them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a proud hater of Nicolo Vasquez.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you deal with those haters?
Sometimes you gotta know where they're coming from, cause sometimes they're just hating on this. They're just hating on the spot. It's a hate account. It's an account with
Yeah.
no followers, no videos, and they just want to like, it's a troll account. But
True, true,
sometimes,
true.
I mean, sometimes it's the internet. Some people are more confident. Sometimes they're the way they voice out their opinions, it's kind of more aggressive. It can come off arrogant. So sometimes you also need to understand maybe they're just commenting on your content, but it just comes off like really mean and unfiltered. But
That's
so
true.
times like those, I keep it at the back of my head. I don't mind it, cause if you're being rude, then it's a no for me.
Truly, truly.
But like
Only constructive criticism, guys. Don't
exactly,
be rude.
exactly.
Don't be mean.
You gotta know what's hate and what's criticism, and
That's true.
and sometimes hate, sometimes a lot of times, honestly, you think it's hate, but it's just someone with a completely different culture from yours. Not everyone's gonna be nice, and not not everyone acts the same way as you. So sometimes what you think is hate is just someone really aggressive to get better content out of you. There's
yes.
so many.
Yeah, and like speaking of content, does it really affect your content? Do you change stuff about yourself and the stuff you do on TikTok or on any social media platforms, like what people say? Because like also on Instagram,
Yeah.
you don't have a perfect Instagram feed. See, I'm really a hater. I'm really
Yeah.
a hater, guys. So, does it change the content that you post with all
No,
these like criticisms?
no, it doesn't have to. It can. It can if you want to fit to a certain group more. If that's what you want, then of course by all means, it's your choice. But you gotta understand, you start off every new social media platform, especially if you want to be a creator, you start with 0 followers, 0 likes. So you're not, in the first place, you're not making content for other people. You're making it for yourself because it makes you happy. You're making it for your friends who you know appreciates you. These people are just people who come along the way. So you gotta learn to accept that.
So, if ever there's like criticism per se, and if it's constructive, will you stay true to yourself or will you listen to that criticism? You know.
Part of staying true to myself is being open to criticism.
Hear that, guys. Hear that, guys. Mm-hmm.
So of course you can. It's also boils down to you if you want to take that criticism or not. It doesn't make you any less of a person if you don't take other people's criticism. It's still your content.
Yeah, and like let me add, you have to categorize which criticism is productive for you and unproductive, right? Cuz like
Yeah.
if you just keep on listening to the hate, to the all those like haters and rude comments, you lose yourself, right?
Yeah.
You lose yourself along the way and you end up, not liking yourself. And that's really bad. We always have to stay authentic.
Yeah.
What can you say about that?
Um, I just watched a vlog of one of my favorite TikTokers. His name is Soups. So he does a lot of superhero trivia facts. I love comic books. I love Marvel, DC, Star Wars. Yeah. He makes a lot of of that content, and one time he got a comment that kind of really hurt him as a creator. And what he said in his vlog was really inspiring to me. Um, you do you want to change your content to reach other people, or do you want to keep making quality content for the people who already follow you?
Mm-hmm. That is true.
You make
That is true.
content and you attracted people who say your work is good, who believes that you put out quality. So instead of doing it to just get more followers, do it for the followers you already have.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, being authentic, being unique and different is super attractive, whether it's
Yeah,
online or with the people around you. Because, you know, unique stuff are interesting. What more on people, right? So, do you like that? Do you like when people are being authentic and interesting?
super, super.
Mm-hmm.
It's everyone, cause especially now, and for us Gen Zers, we're always online, so we always
Yeah.
see there's always a format for everything. There's a format for memes. There's a format for new trends, new dances,
Uh huh.
fashion or whatever. But isn't it like you get that culture shock when someone brings in their own culture or brings in that new perspective, a new twist on something, and it's just so good to see and think, wow, why didn't I think of that? Oh wait, it's
True.
because they're somewhere around the world and they're making things which are just as good, if not better than what we have.
Yeah, and like if you can notice with all the content that's on social media, the more unique you are, the more followers
Exactly.
you have. Like if you really saw like the original really big accounts, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, they blew up because they are unique and they found their people. So yeah, and I love that about being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, if you want to attract more people, you don't have to please others. You just have to be yourself. And people will like that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And like with and I'm just happy that you mentioning that we're in the Gen Z. So, because like in Gen Z, everyone is so diverse and people
Absolutely.
accept and even love if you're diverse and you're unique and
Mm-hmm.
different from one another. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so fun to see how we can all be different, but we can all appreciate our differences. That's something
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z has always been good at. I heard someone say sometimes the judgment doesn't really come from our peers or our friends. It comes from like our backgrounds, like what our parents think or what we grew up with. But like just boil it down to like friends, classmates, people
Mm-hmm.
our age from our generation. We're a very open and accepting generation.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, and I love that about our generation. And I'm just sad because, like, as Filipinos, living as
Mm-hmm.
in the Philippines, where we have a generally
Yeah.
conservative worldview when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to gender roles, when you're in the upper class, lower
Yeah.
class, or when you're
Unfortunately, yeah.
this age or whatever. So how do you cope with that? Because like you're one of the most unique you're one of the most unique and super unapologetic about you being different, and you don't fit into a certain archetype
Mm-hmm.
per se.
Yeah.
And sometimes could be you know it could be, let's say, disheartening when people judge you for being unique, and that is a
Yeah.
very very often, that is a very often occurrence here in the Philippines. So how do you cope with that as someone who wants to be, be
Yeah.
yourself and be unique?
Well, how does someone cope with living in the Philippines? You just
That
don't.
is so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be here.
The amount of times I said that, I was just like, oh my god, I don't want to be here anymore. But like,
How do you cope?
I mean,
Honestly.
I don't think I have a definite answer on how to cope.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived
Mm-hmm.
here in the Philippines for 18 years and I don't even know what to do anymore. But it also comes with accepting that this isn't this is that there are some norms, there are some things here that aren't that accepted. You
Mm-hmm.
have to live with it. Think, good for you if once you get older, you get to move somewhere else where you feel more safe. But with actually like coping with circumstance, it's really hard to give a definite answer.
Yeah.
I personally can't really give an answer on what you should do. You can
Mm-hmm.
like leave if you want to, but I
And
really don't know.
no, it's really about, if you can't find it like anywhere in the Philippines as like, as a conservative country, you really just have to find those people
Yeah.
who will accept you for being who you are. Do you
And there will
have those
be. And there
people?
will be. There will be
Yeah.
those people.
Yes.
Sometimes those people won't even be in the same country. Sometimes you'll meet them online. You'll meet
Mm-hmm.
online friends along the way. Sometimes you're out there putting your content that, maybe people in your country doesn't really vibe with, but you will find people. Remember, authenticity attracts.
Yes.
It's attractive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dating advice is relationship dating advice 101. It's not anymore how to be unapologetically yourself. Okay, so you know, you said that authenticity is attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any tips on how to be unique? How to be different? Because I want to be attractive.
Oh my god. That segue was something else. That segue was just. If that's what makes you unique, then go for it. That's how you're authentic. That's how you do your segues. How do you even human? Um,
That's the podcast, guys.
yeah, by the way, that's the name of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I do have, I say three, not exactly tips, but just things that I keep in mind.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
First one would definitely be, um, choose the right people.
Mm.
We always say, if you want to get into something, surround yourself with people with the same interest, and which is true. I mean, like I said, you will definitely attract people. Some people may not even understand it yet, but you can be the one to get them into something.
True.
And
True.
something good, something good. Let's just be
Good.
clear. Something
Something
good.
good.
Yeah.
Something good.
Just being just having a circle of friends, a circle of peers that just support you and keep you up even if they don't necessarily understand, like for example, my parents were never into theater. My parents were never really into performing, but
Mm-hmm.
at least they do support me to a certain extent.
To
They
a
do
certain.
they do support me, and I am thankful for that. So
Yeah.
and it keeps you grounded, and it also it also keeps my head up at times
Yes.
when the haters come in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, second second tip would
Mm-hmm.
be, oh my god, I had a second tip. I did not write this down. Um, second tip would, from the word, they always say be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then just be. You know,
Just
just
be.
just be. You don't
Just
have
be.
you don't have to act a certain way. You shouldn't when you say be yourself, you shouldn't act. It's not
True.
all about acting,
It's not
especially
act like yourself. It's not
it's
act like
being
yourself.
yourself.
It's be yourself. Be. Bzz, bzz. Sorry.
Oh my god. See, I mean that's how you be yourself, right? That's
Yeah,
how
yeah. Sorry, that's my humor. That's me being myself, guys.
yeah.
So yeah, just be, right?
Yeah. You don't have to act. Sometimes it's going to take a while. Sometimes a lot of people you're going to be you're going to encounter a lot of negative things in life and it's going to put you down. So it's going to be hard to really dig down deep and be who you really are cuz you live in a society that's just
We live in a
so
society. We live in a society.
it's just that's just like there's just so much pressure and it's going to take some time but you will get there.
True.
And
And oh,
no,
let me
yeah.
just add about being yourself, because if you just say, oh, we always think like, be yourself, be your better version of yourself, whatever. And if you're always in your head about it, you won't be in the moment. I think how to more
Mm. For anyone out there that knows us personally or has worked with us, you know,
yeah.
sure.
Okay, guys. The thing about being in the moment is, just getting out of your head and not care about what other people say, because most of the time, people are thinking about what others say about them. So basically, people are thinking about themselves, not you.
Yeah.
People don't people most of the time don't care about you in real life,
Yeah.
when in like, if you're judging them or not. So just be in the moment and just be, as you said, so you can, be free and do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's within your personality, right?
That's right.
And do
That's
you,
right.
yeah. And do you still have a third tip?
Oh yeah. I remembered what the second tip was supposed to be.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
God.
okay.
So this is not an order. So
Okay,
like
okay.
do what you will with it. But
Yes,
just
yes.
the third tip I have is think and reflect. You are worth something. You are here because you are worth something. You mean something to other people, and do yourself a favor and just love yourself. It's so cliche, but especially during quarantine, we set we give ourselves it's even us. It's not even like our friends or family. It's us. I'm gonna work
Mm-hmm.
out. I'm gonna read all of these books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reach 100,000 followers on TikTok. But you don't need you don't have to. You don't have to. It's
That is
like
true.
think who are you real I told this to you guys earlier. Who are you doing this for? If you're doing this and if you want to do this for yourself but you're not happy, if it's not rewarding to yourself in any way, then why do it? As long as it's
True.
good and it's not hurting you, it's not hurting anyone, and it's really something that can make you a better person,
Mm-hmm.
then why not, right?
Why not? Why not? And for your third tip,
Girl, that was the third tip.
oh, that was the third tip. Okay, guys, so we have those three tips. So can you restate them again? Those
Yes,
three
okay.
tips. So just
The
so you
three
and
tips.
just so our can
Yeah.
viewers and listeners can take note of it.
Recap. So my three tips. First one is surround yourself with people who appreciate you. Second tip would be think and reflect of why, of your whys. Why are you doing this? why do you want to? And last tip is just to actually do it. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a long time for a lot of
Yes.
people, but you will thank yourself in the end.
You will thank yourself in the end. What a great way to wrap up everything that we've been talking about in this podcast, because the best thing, honestly, to do for yourself is to be yourself. And Mr. Nicolo Vasquez,
Yes, Miss
Mr. Nico.
Francesca Cuenca.
Yes, we always end our podcast with a statement. So can you complete it for me? You don't have to explain it. Just like a one sentence fill in the blanks, okay? Complete the statement. The bottom line is that to be a better human,
You need to be.
you
Just
need to
be.
just bzz.
No. Just be. Just be.
Just be.
You want to be a
I'll
better
make-
human? Be a human.
Yeah, I'll make the cover art for this episode a B, because we want. Oh my gosh! Thank you for being the first guest of my podcast. I know this is super, very lutang. Yes, very.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for being my first host of a podcast.
Well, so if you guys want to follow Nico, do you want to promote anything? Want to promote anything to all my viewers and listeners out there?
Yeah. To all the viewers and to all the listeners, just be. Just be. That's all I have to say. Just be.
You won't promote anything, even your TikTok?
I mean, if you find me, that's great. I don't know if I want you to find me, but
That is,
I mean, okay, sure,
know-
yeah.
yeah.
If you wanna see what I do, if you wanna see what makes me unique, and hopefully it inspires you to do the same,
Inspiring.
go on TikTok and on at Avatar Nico.
Yes, at Avatar Nico. And on Instagram. At Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki
Underscore
_MVK.
MVK.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nico, for being in this podcast. So, guys, this is the How Do You Even Human podcast, and we will be chatting again in the next episode. Let's say it together. My last line. One,
Alright.
2, 3, go. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!
No, wait.
Wait,
One,
what?
two,
2, 3.
1, 2, 3, go. Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
or whatever.
whatever.